What up, fight fans? So October 18th sees the return of Gennady Triple G Golovkin as he is set to face Marco Antonio Rubio. Golovkin's coming off a dominant knockout victory over Daniel Gill, who at the moment seemed to be the most credible opponent that Gennady Golovkin has faced, because the big thing behind Golovkin is, you know, by the general consensus of the boxing fans, is people want to see him in big fights with big name opponents. But I think, again, like I mentioned before, there's not a lot of names at 160 pounds that are going to put him over the top. You know what I mean? Because when you look at the likes of Peter Quillin, Solomon, and he just fought Gill, I mean, these are the top four. And then, you know, and then there's Miguel Cotto, but I'm not going to include him in there because the realization is these guys aren't going to fight, at least if it presents itself for another year. I'm on the boat still that he doesn't have to jump to 168 just yet. I mean, Golovkin at this point is just fighting the guys that are available. He's mentioned they want to fight with Peter Quillin. They want to fight with Miguel Cotto. You know what I mean? It's not like they're running away from people. It's just they're trying to make the biggest fights for the most money that they can, realistically. And the only guy that they could make big money off of is Miguel Cotto, and it's understandable why he's not going to go fight Golovkin just yet. He's got a big fight potentially with Canelo Alvarez that can happen next May, and I don't know any boxing fan who is not clamoring for that fight. So as it stands right now, man, Golovkin's going to be, I think, in the same position for the next maybe 6 months to a year, unless they somehow figure out a way for him to fight Peter Quillin, who has a fight, I believe, in December, which was a fight that Rock Nation won a purse bid on, and I'll do a later video on that. But as of right now, man, this is the fight we're going to get October 18th, Gennady Golovkin versus Marco Antonio Rubio. And I'll just flat out say right now that this is a fight I think is tailor-made for Golovkin. Is Rubio a tough fighter? Is Rubio a guy with experience and has been in there with some quality opponents? Absolutely. You know, and that's why I don't think this is a total wipeout, I would say, for Golovkin, as long as it lasts. Marco Antonio Rubio, I think, is your quintessential gatekeeper, or maybe a tad under that. He's going to be a tough guy for most middleweights that get in the ring with him, and I think he's proven that over his career. But I think we have to realize at this point, if people haven't already, that Golovkin is the goods, guys. He really is. Just watching little things he does, and again, he's not perfect. You know what I'm saying? We can nitpick every single fighter, including Floyd Mayweather, and pick little inaccuracies, but at the same time, you know, I think we're at a point right now where we understand how good Golovkin is. It's just he's just having a tough time getting quality opposition, or opposition that's going to put him over the top. So, October 18th, Gennady Golovkin, Marco Antonio Rubio, which will take place at the StubHub Center, HBO World Championship Boxing, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be pretty packed, considering that, you know, Golovkin, for the boxing fans, is becoming a bigger name every day. Just behind the hype, behind him, whether you believe the hype or not, it's getting people attention. So as a fighter, that's really all you can ask for, is to get people to watch you. From that point on, it's all up to you. So Golovkin, Rubio, October 18th, HBO World Championship Boxing. And, you know, I'm not really going to make a separate prediction video besides this, because I think Golovkin's going to win this fight by a mid to late round stoppage. This is kind of a deal where the criticism with Golovkin from even before the Gill fight is going to be present even after this fight, because until he fights somebody like a Quillin, or somebody, I guess, that has a title where you can say he beat a champion, then I just think the criticism's still going to be there after this fight. It's just going to be another showcase, at least in my opinion, for Gennady Golovkin. So, October 18th, Gennady Golovkin, Marco Antonio Rubio, World Championship Boxing, HBO. And I'll be back to talk about, like I just mentioned, the Rock Nation jumping into the boxing world. I want to go into depth with it. I didn't want to just make a video about it. So stay tuned, and I'm going to actually also be talking about Bernard Hopkins versus Kovalev That's going to be potentially coming up in November. We haven't heard any official word, though both camps have agreed, and the fight is going to be on HBO. So stay tuned for that, and I'll be back soon.